one of my favorite transactions from this year. I was working with an experienced investor. She was looking for a rental property that she could also enjoy. She is an avid kayaker. She wanted to have direct water access where she could drop her kayak in and be off. So in targeting the areas and working with her budget, which wasn't huge, by the way, we focused mostly on Brunswick County and Charlotte. Charlotte is some beautiful properties on the water, and you can still get them at a decent price. It's kind of undiscovered area. So when we were looking there, she came down one weekend, worked at several properties, found a property that actually interested her. What the biggest selling feature was that there was a dock directly onto the Charlotte River, and she would have direct access, and it wasn't a tidal area at all. So it would be dropping in any time of the day. In our investigation of the property before we put the offer in, we discovered that the dock was not owned by the seller. The seller had represented that it was his. However, clearly by looking at the property lines, you could see that the dock was mostly on the neighbor's property. So before he could really sell the property, he would need to get that property line addressed with his neighbor and make sure that he had clear title to all the area, including the dock. So we backed away from that deal. Did not make an offer. Next property we found, cute little house direct on the it was a marsh area, beautiful views, could drop her kayak in from her backyard, but there was also a less than a half mile down the road, a larger area, a community dock where you could drop in. Love the property. There was also a building on the property in the yard that she thought she could turn into a one-room efficiency tiny house rental. So super excited. So she's gonna have 2 rental opportunities here, house that she can enjoy dropping her kayak into the water. We go to make an offer, find out where it's an estate. Husband had passed away, widow was selling. Directly asked the listing agent, does the widow have full rights to sell the property? Listing agent assured me, yes, she did. So we're in due diligence. This is when we do all our investigation. My attorneys are working for my client doing their investigation. They find out that there are heirs that are contesting the will. So that puts a halt to our buying process. We negotiate with the seller, say, hey, we're still interested in this property, but you need to have free and clear title before we could sell it. What needs to happen? And how can we make this work for everybody involved? What ended up happening was we needed to announce in the paper that the house was being sold. We needed to, not we, the seller, needed to serve the heirs with papers telling them what was going on and give them 30 days from the time they received their papers that they could contest the will. So what was going to be a short 30-day close on a property ended up being almost a 90-day process where we were basically just waiting to see if the seller could sell. Anyways, long story short, everybody's happy. We did close. My buyer has now renovated the interior. It's super cute. She's working on turning the outbuilding into a tiny house, and it's going to have 2 rental properties and also the ability to enjoy a house on the water year round if she chooses to make it her residence. Every transaction is a little different. And like I said at the top, hopefully you learn something from each transaction, myself included. I did really learn a lot during this about the estate process. And I want every transaction to be a win-win. I want the seller to be happy and the buyer to be happy. And I think everybody worked together to get this one closed, and it was a very good transaction. So if you're thinking about buying or selling or have any questions about real estate, give me a call. Let's connect. I am always here to help, and I hope you're having a fabulous day.